Welcome to the fourth segment of our Timun Mas series. We are deeply appreciative of Mrs. 𝐓𝐻𝐸𝐻 de Bintang Khardha, the esteemed founder of Natah Ruang Karsa, an eminent institution for the preservation of Balinese artistic traditions in Jakarta, for her critical role in this endeavor. As a prominent cultural ambassador, Mrs. 𝐓𝐻𝐸𝐻 de Bintang Khardha has been integral in the artistic crafting of this animated work. Her cultivated collaboration with 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐿 has fostered a meaningful connection over time, which has been crucial for the project's success and refinement. Through her role as a cultural custodian, Mrs. 𝐓𝐻𝐸𝐻 de Bintang Khardha has effectively connected this Indonesian folktale with a global audience. We hope TimunMas will continue to serve as a bridge between Indonesian heritage and the world. Our sincere gratitude goes to Mrs. 𝐓𝐻𝐸𝐻 de Bintang Khardha, founder of Natah Ruang Karsa, for her exceptional support and artistic contributions. Her commitment to advancing Indonesian culture on the global stage is deeply appreciated. On her 16th birthday, the giant returned. Granny Srini, filled with urgency, handed TimunMas the magical bags and urged her to run. The giant 𝐓𝐻𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻 appeared in the village, towering over the houses, causing fear among the villagers. TimunMas, her expression a mix of fear and determination, clutched the bags tightly, took a deep breath, and began sprinting towards the forest. Behind her, the giant 𝐓𝐻𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻 crashed through the village, hot on her trail, his massive footsteps shaking the ground. TimunMas, panting heavily, reached the edge of the forest. She quickly reached into one of her magical bags and threw a handful of cucumber seeds behind her. As the seeds hit the ground, they rapidly grew into a dense field of cucumbers, their vines thick and entangling. 𝐓𝐻𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻 roared in frustration as he struggled to wade through the tangled cucumber vines. Taking advantage of the delay, TimunMas continued to run deeper into the forest. She glanced over her shoulder, saw the giant breaking free, and reached into her second bag. She scattered the needles from the second bag, which instantly transformed into a sprawling, thorny bamboo forest, the sharp thorns forming a formidable barrier. The giant crashed into the bamboo forest, wincing as the sharp thorns pierced his skin. His progress was painfully slow, giving TimunMas a precious lead. She didn't stop, knowing the giant would eventually break through. She reached into her third bag and threw the salt, which magically transformed into a vast, turbulent sea. The waves crashed violently, creating a daunting obstacle. 𝐓𝐻𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻, undeterred, dived into the sea. He swam with difficulty, the strong currents pulling him in all directions. Meanwhile, TimunMas reached the far shore, barely pausing before she reached into her final bag. She threw the shrimp paste from the last bag, and as it hit the ground, it morphed into a boiling sea of shrimp paste, bubbling and churning ominously. The giant waded into the boiling shrimp paste, howling in pain as he became trapped. TimunMas watched, her face a mix of relief and exhaustion, as the giant struggled and finally succumbed to the boiling sea. TimunMas stood at the edge of the forest, looking back at the path of destruction and the defeated giant. She took a deep breath, her expression resolute, knowing that her journey was far from over. The sky had begun to set, hinting at the end of one chapter and the beginning of another, waiting to be explored.